from the nooks and crannies of this nation. OSBC brings you the news. News across the country.
Good evening and welcome to the news across the country. NANS set for nationwide protests over continued detention of students allegedly defamed president's wife. Report of the week cautions on political class ahead of the 2023 general election. 4 die in Adamawa governor's convoy crash. Governor Ademola Adeleke has frowned at the delay in the payment of November salary, ordering the submission of salary schedules to relevant office within 24 hours. This is contained in a statement by spokesperson to the governor, Malam Olawale Rashid. Governor Adeleke issued the directive after taking briefing from the Federal Ministry of Finance, saying the desk officer should ensure the immediate submission by outstanding agencies. Top officials of the ministry had attributed the delay in salary payments to the failure of some agencies to submit their salary schedules on time. Governor Adeleke consequently directed immediate conclusion of the processes, affirming that his administration is averse to inconveniences the delay has forced on the state workforce. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has faulted the report by the Nation newspaper, which affirmed the reversal of executive order rolled out on his assumption of office. A release issued by spokesperson for the governor, Malam Rashid Olawale, says the report credited to the Nation newspaper is a deliberate falsehood, as the executive orders by the state governor Senator Ademola Adeleke are still valid. According to the release, the executive orders made pursuant to the Constitution by Governor Ademola Adeleke are necessary for good governance in the state. The spokesperson for the governor noted that executive orders invalidate all employments and appointments in the service of Osun State in whatever capacity in all MDAs after the 17th of July. It also subjects to review the appointment of traditional rulers made by the previous administration after the 17th of July to ensure there was strict compliance with due process of chieftaincy declarations and native law, as the appointments of Akin of Ikirun, Are of Ire, and Owa of Igbajo are put on hold pending review. The release noted that the committee for the review of promotions, state assets inventory and recovery, as well as contracts, MOUs, agreements, and chieftaincy matters, appointments of traditional rulers are sequel to the force of the executive order. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has charged accounting officers in the various ministries, departments, and agencies of government to be honest and give accurate information as they brief the government on the state of affairs of their respective NDAs. Governor Adeleke gave this charge while flagging off the clarification meetings between the state government delegates headed by the Deputy Governor Prince Kola Adewusi and heads of government ministries, departments, and agencies. Senator Adeleke emphasized that it is important for the civil servants to come forward with the accurate facts and figures relevant to the finances of the state. Among agencies that appeared for briefing today are Ministry of Finance, Office of the Accountant General for the state, Debt Management Office, among others. Permanent Secretary of Osun State Ministry of Finance, Mrs. Funke Ogunlumade, the Chief Executive Officer, Prince Adegbite Ademikora, and the Accountant General of the state, Mr. Olalere Abiodun, today appeared before the committee set up by Governor Ademola Adeleke to set the feet of his administration on the path of success. The Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Adewusi, implored the public officers invited for the briefings not to be economical with the truth. Sahid Adeboje has the details. It will be brought to you in the course of the bulletin. Civil servants across the 3 tiers of government in the country have been charged to be diligent and dedicated while discharging their duties. The outgone Auditor General in Osun State, Alhaji Folorunsho Adesina, gave the charge at a program organized to send him off from civil service held at the Local Government Commission Hall, State Secretariat. Our reporter Oluchi Amuda completes the story.
The retirement program of the Auditor General of Osun State, Alhaji Folorunsho Adesina, attracted the presence of families, friends, professional colleagues, and well-wishers who gathered to celebrate with the latest retiree in town for the successful completion of his career as a civil servant. Some of the colleagues of Alhaji Adesina spoke glowingly about his humility, dedication to duty, and human relations. In his lecture entitled Definition of Asset, an accountant, Mr. Olasunkami Ojo, called on civil servants to prioritize their needs and ensure they invest in valuables that will not turn into liabilities for them.
You have 3 cars, you have 4 cars that your salary, both salary of husband and wife, cannot maintain. It brings money out of your pocket more than necessary, then it becomes a liability.
In his votes of thanks, the celebrant Alhaji Folorunsho Adesina appreciated the support of his colleagues while in active service, just as he enjoined them to continue to contribute their best in service to God and humanity.
One should show professionalism in all he does. He should follow rules and regulations of our operations, and he should be humble. He should be very humble. He should be approachable. He should demonstrate leadership qualities, because without that, one may not be able to do it successfully.
The event featured the cutting of anniversary cake and a melodious presentation from the cultural troupe. Alhaji Folorunsho Adesina was born in Inisha, Odoti local government area on the 4th of December 1962. He graduated from the Lagos State University with a degree in economics in 1982 and joined the Old Oyo State Civil Service as an audit officer in 1990. He attended the Nigerian College of Accountancy, Jos Plateau State, for a postgraduate diploma course in accountancy in 1999. He rose through the rank and was appointed a substantive Auditor General for the state in 2012. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
Permanent Secretary of Osun State Ministry of Finance, Mrs. Bimpe Ogunlumade, the Chief Executive Officer, Prince Adegbite Ademikora, and the Accountant General of the state, Mr. Olalere Abiodun, today appeared before the committee set up by Governor Ademola Adeleke to set the feet of his administration on the path of success. The Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Adewusi, implored the public officers invited for the briefings not to be economical with the truth. Sahid Adeboje is now ready with the reports.
Speaking at the briefing, which had in attendance the Secretary to the State Government, Honorable Teslim Igbalaye, member of the Green Chamber of the National Assembly, Honorable Bamidele Salam, and other members of the committee, the Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Adewusi, maintained that the briefing was important to know the financial status of the state and plan on how to bring comfort to its residents. He called on the accounting officers to assist the government in realizing the lofty visions which Governor Ademola Adeleke has for the state.
We want your opinion, we want your sincerity. As we know, the past administration did not hand over anything to us. By so doing, we are in the dark. We want you to really open up to us. What is the true state of the finances of the state, since you are the managers of this department?
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Mrs. Bimpe Ogunlumade, and her team was the first to appear before the committee. She intimated the committee about the duties of the Finance Ministry, which she said includes ensuring prudence in government finances, noting that salaries of the 87 agencies of government have been automated as a result of fiscal sustainability program of the federal government. Mrs. Ogunlumade noted that salary stress of 16 months totaling 29 billion 875,191,028 naira 64 kobo were owed from 2016 to the mid of 2018. She pulled the pension arrears at 45,375,237,693 naira 40 kobo, maintaining that some deductions have been left unpaid.
I cannot say okay because I know it is wrong, but there is no way.
Just as Mrs. Ogunlumade appeared before the committee, the man in charge of Debt Management Office and the Accountant General, Mr. Olalere Alabi, also appeared, putting the total debt of the state inherited from Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola and Adeboye Goyetola's administrations at 35,742,431,478 naira 60 kobo. Members of the committee, including Dr. Olaniyi, Dr. B.T. Salam, and others, implored the Office of the Accountant General, Debt Management Office, and the Ministry of Finance to harmonize and give the committee the total assets and liabilities accrued to it. Prince Adebite Ademikara is the Chief Executive Officer of Osun Internal Revenue Service. While speaking, explained that the agency generated 21 billion naira last year and had generated 17.6 billion naira as of September 2022. When asked about the internally generated revenue from mining, Prince Ademikara said that he only obtained pay as you earn tax of employees and that the tax on mining itself is reported directly to the governor's office. In the meantime, the briefing continues tomorrow. For OSBC News, this is Saeed Adeboje reporting.
Osun Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has adjourned sitting till Saturday to enable the Independent National Electoral Commission produce the file that contains original documents submitted by the second respondents for the 2018 governorship election. At the resumed hearing of the tribunal, counsel to the first and second petitioners complained that the copies produced by INEC were not clean and legible. Adeyemi Apoderi has details.
The tribunal had adjourned sitting on the 25th of last month till today to enable the first respondent. The Independent National Electoral Commission complied with the directive of the tribunal to produce copies of certificates used by the second respondent, Governor Ademola Adeleke, to contest the 2018 governorship poll. However, at its resumed sitting, late counsel to the first and second petitioners, Chief Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, complained to the tribunal that the WAEC GCA result and testimonial of the second respondent produced by INEC were not legible, as some content, which includes subject taken, scores, name of the student who wrote the examination, and other vital data were missing from the two documents, despite payment of 350,000 naira to obtain the document. However, counsel to the first respondent, Professor Paul Ananaba's explanation that the photocopies submitted to INEC headquarters by second respondent had faded and there was no way they could have gotten a better copy was not acceptable to the tribunal. A plea to the tribunal to stand down proceedings for 1.5 hours to screenshot copies in the file of the second respondent from INEC headquarters could not assuade the tribunal, as the screenshot was not better than what was produced at the tribunal. The tribunal had to stand down again for both parties to iron out differences which could not yield headway. This compelled the tribunal to compel the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to produce file copies of documents submitted by second respondent Governor Ademola Adeleke before the tribunal unfailingly on Saturday. Chairman of the tribunal, Justice Tasikume, in his ruling said that failure of the first respondent to do so will be tantamount to disobeying order of the tribunal. He therefore adjourned further sitting till Saturday, the 3rd of this month, for continuation of proceedings. Speaking with OSBC News, counsel to the first and second petitioners, Chief Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, has told the tribunal for the directive.
I have no take. The tribunal has ruled. Everybody is bound to comply.
Counsel to the first respondent, Professor Paul Ananaba, SAN, said INEC, being a responsible agency of government, would comply with the order.
INEC is a very responsible organization which I've stated clearly at the tribunal. It's common knowledge that INEC leadership is on a retreat, so in Lagos. But despite that, we will do all that we can to comply with this order of the tribunal. It's just that it's a page or so. It's not legible. It's not that there was a disobedience of the court order. So since the court says we should produce that legible copy, we should bring the file. We will do what we can.
INEC is expected to produce the clean and legible copies of WAEC JCA results and testimonial of the second respondent at its presumed sitting on Saturday. Adeyemi Aboderi, OSBC News.
This is the news across the country, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Voice of the West, Nigeria. Now, a mid-news message. Peace is an essential ingredient for overall development, while absence of justice represents an invitation to an anarchy. Give peace a chance in all your endeavor. Ahead of the 2023 general election, political elites have been admonished to play the game by the rules, as well as refraining from any act of brigandage capable of undermining the peace of the country. For details, let's join Olaide Adegbero on Report of the Week.
Are on the 2023 general election, no doubt, as host of contestants have shown interest to occupy various political offices, which will be vacant as of that time. Visible among other activities embarked upon was erection of billboards and outdoor campaigns that gathered a number of politicians and their supporters. An average Nigerian who loves the country and are looking forward to even developments are clamoring for peace before, during and after the election. But some political juggernauts seem to be taking another trend as campaign posters are being destroyed. Recently, some people were arraigned before a competent court of law on account charge of conspiracy and destruction of campaign billboards. As if that was not enough, the campaign trains of Senator Bola Tinubu and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar were attacked on different locations. Should this trend continue, what could be the resultant effect on the 2023 general elections? This reporter spoke with a public affairs analyst, Mr. Adetunji Akobi. He described as uncivil the act of destructing campaign billboards and launching of attack on political supporters on campaign ground, noting that if such actions continue without severe penalties melted on the perpetrators, the election may be bloody and not acceptable.
Destruction of political office holders gunning for one political post or the other is something that is archaic. It is barbaric. It is something outdated, because as civilized people that we are, I don't expect us to still be destroying political billboard campaign all over the place just because we don't We don't like one political party.
Calling on all contestants to sound a note of warning to their supporters, Mr. Akombi said that attaining political position should not be by force. Therefore, they should endear love in the heart of the electorate rather than encouraging violence. He therefore called on security agents to tighten their belts and keep watch on political gladiators who are always interested in politics of bitterness, violence, and acrimony. Also speaking in an interview, a political scientist, Dr. Williams Alabi, said that political parties should strictly adhere to the rules and regulations rather than engaging in billboard vandalization.
To play the game according to the rules, simply because the policy is already heated and all stakeholders in politics must be able to adhere to the rules of the game in making the nation habitable. One of the problems the society is encountering now is a problem that borders on the low resources in terms of spending, in terms of what is available to people. And if care is not taken, a lot of resources are wasted in settling disputes, in settling crises, and this will amount to a problem that will eat deep into the fabric of our politics and resources. So the politicians to adhere to the rules and make play it the way it's supposed to be played, so that the nation will eventually be seen to be developing. Development is multi-dimensional, and if our politicians are not in strict terms to the rules, there might be underdevelopment in terms of suffering from all the indices of development. What are those indices? Indices of good health, good education, and other things.
Dr. Alabi stressed that if care is not taken, destruction of billboards and bloody campaigns will lead to wasting of the nation's resources. For Report of the Week, this is Olaide Adegbero reporting.
The Osun State Executive Council, Board of Trustees, and all traditional religious worshippers under the aegis of Traditional Religious Worshippers Association in the state has felicitated Governor Ademola Adeleke and his deputy Prince Kola Adewusi on their victory and swearing in as chief accounting officers of the state. In a congratulatory message by the state president of the association, Oluomo Oluseyi Atunda, and Secretary Chief Ifashola Onifade, expressed the belief that the emergence of Governor Ademola Adeleke is divine, having prayed fervently to God and deities to appoint the chosen one for the state. While appealing to all and sundry to continue to pray for the success of the administration and growth of the state, the association assured the governor of its support, prayers, and availability to cooperate in areas where the ideals of Yoruba culture and tradition will be required for the attendant benefits of the state. While rejoicing with the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke on the advent of a new dawn in the affairs of the state, the Traditional Religious Worshippers Association pray for religious harmony, tolerance, as well as demonstration of equity and fairness to all, while also advising the administration to continue with the good policies of the previous administrations, review where necessary, and consult widely on others before modification. Secretary to the Osun State Government, Alhaji Teslim Igbalaye, has been lauded for consistently working for the uplift of the people, as evident in the dedication he puts into public service. This is contained in a congratulatory message by spokesperson to the governor, Malam Olawale Rashid, on behalf of Governor Ademola Adeleke, as Alhaji Igbalaye marks his birthday today. Osun State Chapter of the People's Democratic Party has congratulated the Secretary to the State Government, Honorable Teslim Igbalaye, as he marks his birthday today. Osun PDP especially rejoices with the Osogbo-born political strategist for his incontrovertible art of love, which has made him devoting the most productive years of his life to the service of his community and the state at large. The Forum of Retired Directors General, General Managers, and Executive Secretaries of Boards and Corporations in Osun State has congratulated Senator Ademola Adeleke on his swearing-in and assumption of office as the new governor. In a release jointly signed by its President Chief Ademola Adeleke and the Publicity Secretary Engineer Segun Ajayi, the forum prayed God to grant him the wisdom and knowledge to steer the ship of the state successfully. Governments at all levels have been admonished to do more in alleviating the poverty across the country. This forms the bulk of opinions by a cross-section of the society who spoke with OSBC News in Osogbo, the state capital, while reacting to the rising poverty level in the country. OSBC reporter Olaide Adegbero has more.
With media shortly after the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting, the Minister of State for Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mr. Clement Agba, said that 72% of poverty in Nigeria were prevalent in the rural areas as a result of neglect by the state governors, adding that state governors prefer to function only at the state capital. Mr. Agba would note that the federal government had done so much on its part to address poverty alleviation in the country, regretted that there is no reflection of the amount of investment that has been done in the past. The minister knocked the state governors for concentrating on building factories, airports, and other projects that are only feasible in the state capitals, rather than investing in the areas that directly uplift the standard of life of the people in the rural areas. Stressing that despite being in charge of land, the state governor have not maximized agricultural development in their respective states. Reacting to the claim, a public affairs analyst, Dr. Soji Akinpel, noted that more attention should be given to local government administration in alleviating poverty.
The finance minister has spoken and has spoken very well. He got it right. We have 3 tiers of government: the local government, the state government, and the federal government. But the state governors have killed the local government. Local government is not working, and the local government is supposed to take care of the masses. Like the finance minister has said, the local government is the government that's supposed to take care of the trodden masses, the talakawas. Before they come to the state government, they go to their local government.
On the other hand, a legal practitioner in Osun State, Barrister Bode Babalola, argued that welfare of workers must be given utmost priority by state governors.
In Osun State, the only industry we have is the civil service. They are not even being paid regularly. Go back and look at the pensioners. Their monies have not been paid. Even deductions were made illegally in their finances, their whatever stipends they are being paid, which is against the constitution, and the governments are not paying back. They are not giving them money back. So how do you want them to leave the poverty line? They have children going to school. They are not paying more for schools. Parents are not paying more when they are not being paid.
With the rising cost of living and attendance of poverty level in Nigeria, analysts submitted that urgent and drastic measure is required to nip in the bud the ugly development. Olaide Adegbero reported.
The leadership of the National Association of Nigerian Students has declared a nationwide protest to demand the release of a student of the Federal University Dutse Jigawa State, Aminu Mohammed, who was arrested and sent to prison over a tweet on Aisha Buhari, wife of President Muhammadu Buhari. 4 persons have reportedly died from a ghastly accident involving a Toyota Hilux conveying a detachment of vigilantes accompanying Governor of Adamawa State, Hamadu Fintiri, along Mobi Road on a campaign engagement. And that was the news across the country, edited by Temitope Olayiwola. For more about us, visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good evening.